I'm going to explain a calculator to help you implement what is called the Avalanche method to save money over the long term to help you pay off your credit card debt. We created a calculator online. We've got a link to it in the description, which shows you exactly what to do. There'll be a link up here to a video which goes into great detail on how the Avalanche method works. I'm just going to give you a quick overview and then show you a tutorial of the calculator itself. And if you like these videos, please do hit the like button, and I hope you will consider being a subscriber by the end. I've got lots of videos on getting out of debt and preserving your wealth. So you'll actually see this exact information when you click to see the calculator. I've pre-populated the calculator with this data so they coincide. You're welcome. So this is the Avalanche method we're going to discuss. There's a similar one called the Snowball. You may have watched that video, I'm not sure. But here's how it works. We put in 3 debts. Now, either of these methods require at least 2 debts or they don't work. Or more. You can have 4, you can have 5, you can have 6, whatever you may have. In this case, we're going to assume 1 credit card, $10,000 debt, 24% interest rate, and a payment of $300. You'll see these 2 columns. How much interest will you pay over time? And how many months will it take you to pay it off? These will pre-populate because they'll be calculated based on what you put in. You just have to put in these 3. We've got, as an example, personal loan, $14,000, 11%, $800 a month. Car loan, $7,000, 8%, $450 a month. Okay, the Snowball method attacks and looks at this column first. The Avalanche method looks at the percent. You can run both calculators with your data to see what comes out best. Typically, the Avalanche, looking at percent, comes out best first. So here's what's going to happen. There's 2 things you can do on the calculator. First, you'll put in your debts, and you'll hit the calculate button. It's going to show you, using this method, how much interest you're going to save, in other words, how much money you'll save, and how many months you'll save. So it might say you're going to save 12 months. So instead of taking 36 months, it might take 24 months. Both of the methods do not require you to pay any more than what you're already paying. You don't have to come up with additional money. We'll talk about that in a second. So what it'll do when you hit the button is it's going to reorder the debts and put them into a payment plan for you and show you row by row how much money you send each month and where you send it. So it's going to list your debts by percent. So it's going to say, this is 24%, this will be your first column. It'll be $10,000 because it's a 24% loan. The next highest is 11, so that'll be 14,000 will come next. And the next highest is 7,000. That's the last one at 8%. Those will be your columns. It will then show the payments of each. So the payment here was $450 a month. Payment here was $800 a month. And this is $300 a month. Okay. There's row 1, row 2, row 3, all the way down, all the different months. Okay. And each month you'll know exactly what to send in to which card. Okay, so how does the method work? It wants you to attack the highest percentage rate debt first. What does that mean? You're sending in $300 a month. You don't have additional money to send in. You're just sending in your payments. Let's say, for sake of argument, that this one takes a while to pay off. This one's paid off after a couple months. You send your payment, send your payment, send your payment. All of a sudden you owe nothing. On the month that you owe nothing, you have an additional $450 because you didn't have to send it here. What do you do with it? This will tell you. It'll say, hey, put it over here. So it'll be 300, 300, 300 all the way down. When this money's available, it'll be 750. You'll go, oh, okay. I take the money. I don't send it to this card. I don't send half here and half there. I send it here. Because the Avalanche method wants you to go after the highest percentage rate first. This was 24%. This was 11%. And this was 8%. Because it's a higher interest rate debt, you want to pay it off first because you're paying the most interest on that particular debt. And then when this money becomes available, it might go over there, or maybe this one's done, then this one's done, and then it'll show you the money over here. Now the numbers won't be exactly like 450 and 300 because what can happen is you might have a month where all of a sudden you just owe $50. And then you owe nothing, so you send 50 here. Well, the month that you sent 50 in and not 450, what was available? Well, you only had to send in 50, so you had 400 available. So this might jump for 1 month, just so you know. It might say, oh, 400 and 300 is 700. And then the next month, oh, you have 450 available here because it's 0. Now it's actually 750. Hopefully you get the idea. Okay. That's the first thing it's going to do. Now, the second thing, and this is what I like the most, and by the way, you don't have to send in any money. And like I said, you will still have money savings and time savings. Both of those things without any additional. But what I love for people to see is how impactful it is when you add some money to these payments. Even if it's just $100, you might be surprised. So there's a box there that you'll see. It says, do you have additional money to send in every month? You might say, you know what? I came up with another $100 a month. Great. You put it in the box, you hit the button, it's going to tell you where to send it. So, for example, the $10,000 debt's $300, you might see the first month being $400 here. And then, of course, this one is still $800 and this one's $450. But it's going to show you exactly where to send that $100. Then, it will show you the savings in interest and months. Look at it and say, wow, that's substantially more than without $100. If I'm going to save, for example, if I'm going to save another $2,000 in interest, meaning I'll save $2,000, then maybe you want to put that extra $100 a month. It can get you motivated. Then change it to $150, change it to $200, change it to $300, and see how much money you'll save and how much faster you'll pay off the debt. Then it might motivate you to try to add more money every month. Because the faster you can make these balances go down, because of high interest rates, the faster the interest goes down. And that's what we're attacking. The other thing a lot of people don't think of, I'm just going to say this and I'm going to show you the tutorial, is once you're out of debt, you obviously no longer have to make these payments. That's obvious. But when these three are paid off, let's add that up. $750 and $800, that's $1,550. So if this method of just sending in your money and not rolling it over, at some point in time you pay this one off, you got an extra $300, and you decide you're going to spend that every month on whatever you want. Well, if instead you use this method and you start applying it to your highest interest rate debt, you'll pay it faster. So maybe instead of waiting 4 years to pay off your debt, you pay it off in, let's just say, 2.5. That means in 2.5 years, you're going to have $1,550 available. Think of it that way. Not only are you saving money, but you're saving time. And the faster you can get out of debt, the faster you can have access to this capital that you were blowing on debt. Now take a look at the calculator.
Here we are at the Debt Avalanche calculator page. The link in the description will take you directly here at the website. Even though the design may change, the calculator's link will always be there to get to the various calculators. We'll have videos here to describe how to use it and how the method works. Additional information on how the calculator works, but let's dive right into it. As I stated in the video, these debts here that are pre-populated match the board, but you can change them to be your own. You can simply delete one or add one. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. Here's where you can add additional principal if you have it, but we're going to leave it at 0. And let's go ahead and calculate based on this information. So I can show you here are the results, and then we'll show you the payment schedule. The current totals. All right, you owe $31,000. You're making $1,550 a month because it's $300, $800, $450. Your interest costs are going to be $7,117 if you just follow this schedule. In other words, you pay your $300 for 52 months, then you pay your $800 for 20, and your $450 for 17. You don't do anything different. You're going to end up paying over $7,000 in interest. It's going to take you 52 months. If you follow this method and it shows you where to put the money and when, you will make the same payments, $1,550, no additional capital, but your interest will only be about $5,000. So you're going to save, and it's only going to take you 24 months. So you can see here the savings. You're going to save $2,151, and you're going to save 28 months. So if you scroll down, it tells you the payment schedule. In the Avalanche method, it lists them out by the highest percentage rate first. That's how it attacks them. So the first month, it makes sense. Each row is a month. You just send, it says $300 to this card. It says to send $800 to that personal loan and $450 to the car. Okay. As you go down, you just continue doing that month by month. It's going to tell you what to do. Notice this month here, everything's the same. $300, $800, $450. All of a sudden this month, you only had to send $200 here. That's all that was owed, and it's paid off. So if you normally sent $450 and you only sent $200, what's left? $250. So it says, okay, what do you do with the $250? You move it over here. That's the method. So you were paying $300. You were able to add $250. So now it's $550. This one stays at $800. Then the next month, this is gone completely. So now the 450 is available. So now you move the whole 450 over. So instead of 300 plus 450 is 750. So this month you would send 750 and 800. Notice you come down here. It's a little more complicated, but essentially you were putting in 800. Now you're only putting in 60 this particular month. You paid this guy off with $60. You had 740 left. This minus this is 740. 740 plus 750 is 1490. You don't have to do this math. I'm just showing you how it works. So it says on this month, the 19th month, you send in 750 here, you send in 800 here, you're done, you send nothing. Next month, 1490 here, 60 here, you're done this month. So that whole 800 goes to the 750, 1550. That's what you send in, 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 you're done. So there you have it. It shows you month by month what to do. Now, let's remember that we were saving $21.51. Let's say you wanted to determine you got a side job, you make $100 a week, maybe work a day or two a week doing something, you make $400 extra in that month. What happens? Well, let's remember you were saving $21.51. You didn't add any additional. You now have some additional money. What happens? Well, you were saving $21.51. Now you're saving $37.97. Okay. So you scroll down here and you realize that you also saved 34 months. So now it's only taking you 18, not 24. And it's going to show you. Now this card was $300. What do you know? You had an extra 400. Now it's 700. So it's showing you exactly where to send the money. You continue on down and you fill it out and follow it just like it says. Now, let's say that we want to add another debt. Real simple. Card 2, $2,000. This does it by percentage. Let's see where it puts it. This is 24. That's 17. Let's make it 16. $300 payment. Let's make it $200 payment. We still have the 400 available. Let's say, why not? Calculate the debt. We want to see where it puts it. There you go. 24% card 1, 16, 11, 8 in order decreasing value of percentage rate. So there you have it. It will show you exactly what to do. You want to delete a debt. It's real simple. You want to add a debt. It's real simple. You want to add additional principal, and it's going to show you how much you save. So I hope this was helpful. We have many other calculators, and we're adding them all the time. Here they are on the calculator page. All of them typically correspond to a video, and we show a video on that page so you'll know exactly how to use it with instructions.
Thank you for watching the tutorial. Please, again, like the video if you would. It helps push the video out. Leave comments below. Have you tried these methods? Do you have questions on the methods? Are they working for you? Are you out of debt? What have you done? More comments helps people get more involved, and then they understand how these methods work. Feel free to answer others' questions, or I'll answer them as I see them. And again, thank you for considering being a subscriber, and let's all get out of debt, because as I always say on my channel, the government doesn't care about you, the banks don't care about you, and real freedom is financial freedom. Have a great day.